Has anyone been following the Anne Heche thing? She, of course, is dead now, and that's a thing that tends to happen to people who investigate organized, high-level sex trafficking. One of the weirdest things, and there are a number of them, but that overhead shot of from the helicopter when she was being wheeled into the back of the ambulance. She's alive, yet she's covered from head to toe in a body bag or in sheets. I couldn't tell. Just before she gets in the ambulance, she whips off the sheets from her face and sits up. It's like she's trying to get away. And of course, then they just kind of throw her in back, and no one has ever heard from her again because she died. Like I said, that's a thing that happens. She was doing a documentary about sex trafficking. I recall Isaac Kappy. He was also coming out about sex trafficking and pedophilia amongst the elite celebrities in Hollywood. At one point became pretty frightened, said, I am not suicidal. If I end up dead, know that I'm not suicidal. Well, he must have been, because shortly after that, he jumped off a bridge and died. We also have this prominent politician, I think she was a congresswoman, investigating the connection between CPS and organized sex trafficking. And she died as well in a murder-suicide. Her and her husband both passed away. Of course, her family is highly suspicious of that conclusion. And then, of course, the better-known Epstein situation, and anyone that thinks Epstein actually killed himself is just too brainwashed to be saved at this point. But don't worry, Netflix put out an expose just showing everything about Epstein. So, case closed. And they have a tendency to do this. They put out these softballs. They did the same with Jimmy Savile after he had already died and done all his raping and murdering. And actually, there was a documentary that was supposed to come out before that, before the Netflix thing. And it was all done. Production was over, set to be released, and then bloop, went away. That's fine, though, because Netflix picked up the slack and they put out their Jimmy Savile documentary. Another softball, go figure. And that's what they do. It's a kind of disinformation. They pretend to be revealing all these things, and it's just a bunch of softballs. It's like, oh yeah, these creepy men, sometimes they touched some women inappropriately, and sometimes those women were younger. They're on the younger side. Pretty terrible. Yeah, they don't touch on the fact that the currency of the elite is the blood of children, and that's why they're so desperate to cover this up. They work on covering up this trafficking harder than anything else.